Hey, what's going on? This is another episode. This is another episode of the Report of Live News for uh, July 3rd, 2026, on a Friday. Friday. Right. Let me get the date. Friday morning. On a Friday morning. Got a double header to do today. Bad news stories, but that's part of the news. Well, let's get right into it with this double header. Just gotta find the story. Here we go. Okay, shout out to my friend for giving these two stories, and I donate these two stories to the vlog. But let's get right into it. These stories are kind of old, 3 days old, but it's still useful. First story is sponsored by CBSNews.com. Stabbing near San Francisco Civic Center leaves two injured, two arrested. Like I said, it's brought to you by CBS News, uh, with the publisher being Richard Ramos, updated June 28, 2026 at 11:29 p.m. from CBS News, San Francisco. Two people were hospitalized and two suspects were arrested after a stabbing Sunday evening near the area of San Francisco Civic Center, officials said. The San Francisco Police Department said the officers responded around 6:11 p.m. to the area of 7th and Market Streets following the reports of a stabbing. When the officers arrived, they found two victims suffering from apparent stab wounds. Both wounds were taken to a local hospital with injuries that were not considered life-threatening. The people believed to be connected to the stabbing were located then into custody. The identities of the suspects have not been released. Circumstances of the stabbing remain under investigation. Investigation. Um, so, a backup story to this story will be coming pretty soon because I don't got a backup story to pretty much back this story up right at this moment. But surrounding the times we're living in, where anything can happen. We must got stay alert, especially in a crowded places like this. You know, but the thing I used to go back on as far as these stories as well is the motive. Why? Why would you want to just stab two people? Seemed like it was planned. Could have been random, but it seemed like if this was probably planned. But like I said, I don't got no backup story to follow up this story, so we will just move on. The second and final story of this double header. Same network, news network, CBSNews.com, and three-wheeler motorcycle strikes pedestrians inside Fort Greene, Brooklyn Park. 12 hospitalized. Whew. Like I said, this is pretty much local news. Brought to you by CBS News. Three-wheel motorcycle strikes pedestrians inside Fort Greene, Brooklyn Park. 12 hospitalized. From CBS News, New York. With the publisher being Lisa Rosner and Ziza Schuler. Updated on June 29th, 2026 at 1:01 p.m. Like I said, CBS News, New York. 12 people were hospitalized after a three-wheel motorcycle struck a group of pedestrians inside of Fort Greene, Brooklyn Park on Sunday evening. The FDNY confirmed. The alleged motorcycle driver, Naisha Atkinson, 53, was also injured and taken to the hospital. The NYPD received a 911 call at around 6:40 p.m. around the motor vehicle accident at Flushing Avenue, and Navy Road police said there was a female driving a three-wheel motorcycle failed to navigate the roadway and entered the Commodore. Mhm. The NYPD received a 911 call at around 6:40 p.m. About a motorcycle vehicle accident in Flushing Avenue. Navy Road police said a female driving a three-wheel motorcycle failed to navigate the. Okay, driving a three-wheel motorcycle failed to navigate the road and entered. Yeah, entered. Motorcycle failed to navigate the roadway and entered Commodore Berry Park, where she struck nine pedestrians. Struck nine pedestrians. Uh, at least two witnesses told CBS News New York she was the passenger and that a man who was driving fled on foot. Victims range in the age of 36 to 73 years old. There are seven men and five women. Four of the victims remain in critical condition, and the remaining victims are stable. According to witnesses, three-wheel motorcycles drove into the celebration of a park where T.J. Warren Stanley was about to wrap up his set for the night. I saw a bunch of people running. There was screaming, a lot of screaming, Stanley said. Hmm. Okay. She barreled into people sitting on the side right here, which would cause the driver to fly off the bike and hit her in the head when she immediately lost consciousness. Eddie Bermudez said. Witness said the people in the crowd did what they could to help before EMS arrives, including treating some of the injured with fists and Hurston Supplies. Hey, said people in the crowd did what they could to help before people EMS arrives, including when it said people in the crowd did what they could. To help before EMS arrives, including treating some of the injured with first aid supplies. I actually saw some people laying on the ground, some were bleeding, some were laying out. One witness said. Others described people facing and eating in that part of the park. Mm. And on the ground, some were bleeding, some were just laying out. One of the witnesses said. Others described people dancing and eating in that part of the park before the crash happened. While a chair was visibly broken, and what appeared to be the force of the three-wheel motorcycle. We had a beautiful time up until that. A witness said. Police said the investigation are still trying to determine what caused Atkinson to lose control of the motorcycle. The Brooklyn one of the officers she reported. The Brooklyn women is facing a host of charges related to the crash. One of the officers, she faces 2 counts of reckless endangerment, 1 count of reckless driving, 1 count of failing to yield to pedestrians, 1 count of inappropriate touching. Agnes was in stable condition at the hospital. All right, that'll take care of that craziness. So my goodness, what in the world? What in the world are you thinking? What in the world are you thinking? You either had too many drinks, or own something, or it's hard to say. It's hard to say. This is this another crazy story. Sorry about dozing off. But that's another crazy story. Oh my goodness, what in the world? What in the world? Seem like ever since Trump was in office, you get these things happening. I guess seem like people that drive through crowds. Have you noticed that? It seems like ever since you know who major the White House, people have a urge to drive through crowds. Yeah, they really do. They have an urge to drive through crowds. But in a car, truck, or in this case, a three-wheel motorcycle. But it's ridiculous. Though. But like I said, like the last story, don't got back up with these two stories for now. But we will be keeping an eye on the backup story for either one of these two stories I read today. But yeah, you gotta stay alert, out there, out there, because you never know who wants to run you over. You never know who wants to run you over. But yeah, have a good one. I can't add no more on these. It's doubleheader. I'll take away from it. Yeah, have a good one. If you want to get in touch with this page, uh, go to YouTube, type in my link at the real and the truth dot ALT44 low subtraction symbol Thompson. You'll run straight into it. That's at the real and the truth dot ALT44 low subtraction symbol Thompson. You'll run into it. But that would do it for this one. You have a good one. Have a good 4th of July. I'm gone. Happy 4th. And stay safe. I'm gone.